I have the privilege today to welcome you to Damon, to welcome you to the President's 2022 State of the University Address. And before I mention a few thoughts here, I thought I would just quickly say that this is the President's 10th year at what is now the university, was the college and is now the university. So it's interesting how presidents are all the same. Every president I've been exposed to will come up to me and say, short, very short, quick. So I'll try to do that, but it must be hereditary in presidents. So we're all familiar with Dr. Olson's esteemed academic and scholarly accomplishments. We know he's a scholar in rhetoric. We know that he was not only a faculty member, but then a chair and dean and provost. We know that he's been at large publics, and we know that his record of scholarship is deep and very significant. So the president said to me, just move on with it. Don't talk about any of that. And that left me with, well, I have a lot of other things to talk about. So, but I'll tell you this before I get serious, and that is, he never ceases to amaze me. One day, we were at a cabinet meeting, and he started reciting the lyrics to an Eagles song, which surprised me. But the biggest surprise was later that afternoon. We were walking down the hall together, and all of a sudden he started referencing ZZ Top. So he's deeper than you think. But in reflection of the last 10 years here as president, Dr. Olson made it very clear when he first came that he had very distinct things that he wanted to see materialize. Beautification of the campus was one. And when you look at the campus today, the front lawn, the north lawn, otherwise known as Nayer's Island, the demolition of obsolete and non-usable structures, purchase of new properties, renovation of numerous spaces and buildings, new strategically placed integrated parking lots, new pathways, a bridge. And I personally think the bridge is fantastic at any season to go there and reflect and to see what the season's offering, but is really just an absolute pleasure. So the bridge, the lighting, the trees, and the various gardens. The Board of Trustees. We had a wonderful Board of Trustees years ago, and we have a wonderful board today. Very impactful community leaders. He established term limits, professional development and integrated campus engagement, member requirements, and a new strategic plan. He built an enhanced communication system. He insists on letters from the president and letters from the vice presidents whenever necessary and needed. The Voice publication, an incredible audience that now sees Damon on a weekly basis. Leadership Advisory Board, Community Advisory Board, all things that have enhanced the recognition, the identity, the exposure, the knowledge, and the success of the college. He expanded our footprint. The branch campus was formed, and we have numerous programs there at the graduate level in multiple disciplines and in various platforms. He's increased the program inventory that we have at the college, undergraduate and graduate, extended our curriculum, and he's moved the college to an investment grade bond rating, which we're all proud of and grateful for. Commitment to information technology, hired a chief information officer, and moved our programs to digital formats. We have increased full digital programs. He enhanced the capacity for meeting our digital needs and our potential, allow us to move into the future, and we're doing that at really warp speed in several areas. Athletics. When you look at our athletic programs, the success of our athletic teams, national recognition, an incredible 10-year journey from what was developed in the past administration, and we're very proud of both the inauguration of that and also the maturation of it. Commitment to a greater effort and dedication to inclusion and diversity. A chief diversity officer, who manages our curriculum and our campus activities in a way that we're all very, very proud of. Finally, national distinction. The president said in his first couple weeks, I'd like to move this college, which is now a university, to national distinction. So beautification, national distinction, and other elements that I've mentioned in indirect ways. We're a college that has moved to a university. The university status is something that he had envisioned 10 years ago, and he worked extremely hard to meet. He lobbied other presidents, he worked with other presidents, he lobbied New York State Ed, and he became a major force in allowing colleges like us to be properly identified and to have the definition of a university. That was successful, and we are a university today. We do have national recognition of numerous programs. We're gaining more and more attention each day because of what we do and how we do it. Carnegie classification, we were classified and reaffirmed as doctoral professional, which is a very, very high esteemed level in the Carnegie classification system. So 10 years of progress, 10 years committed to the viability and sustainability of our university. It's my sincere pleasure to introduce Daemen's sixth president, Dr. Gary Olson.
Thank you, Provost Brogan, for those kind words and for all you do in academic affairs. I do have to say, though, just about everything he just mentioned was due thanks to everyone in this room, not to me, but that's very nice of you. Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. It's really great to see everybody today, especially in person. It's been a really, really long time. I'd like to begin by recognizing some distinguished guests that are with us. Joining us is the chairman of the Daemen Board of Trustees, John Yurchuk. And I should say, Mr. Yurchuk continues to be a major force in the university's forward progress, and he plays a key role in making the Buffalo community a better place for us all. John, would you stand and be recognized? Also with us is the immediate past chairman of the board and Daemen alum, Dr. Tom Stewart. Tom is responsible for professionalizing the board and overseeing the complete revision of the board's bylaws. Tom, would you stand and be recognized? Also with us is the fourth president of the then Daemen College, Dr. Marty Annisman. Marty, would you stand and be recognized? I'd like to introduce a few new members of the university's leadership. After a national search, we've appointed an experienced HR professional, Laura Azzarella, Vice President of Employee Engagement. She also serves as a member of the cabinet. With more than a decade of human resources experience, she served most recently as Senior HR Manager for Cascades, which is a Canadian-based manufacturing company. She earned a bachelor's degree in media relations from UB, a master's in human resources from SUNY Stony Brook. And I should say Laura can't be with us today, but I do hope that if you have the chance, you'll welcome her. Now, recently we appointed a new leader of our fundraising efforts, Anthony Fulgenzio. Now, he's an experienced fundraising professional with more than 2 decades of experience in higher education. Tony will oversee the areas of major gifts, annual giving, and alumni relations, and he spent over 17 years at Gannon University, where he built a robust fundraising operation and secured numerous 6-figure gifts. He's responsible for the largest gift in Gannon's history, which is $4 million. We can use that. He also supervised the university's annual fund, securing more than $1 million on several occasions. And he's held fundraising roles at Lake Erie College and at Mercyhurst. He earned both a BA in Communication Arts and an MA in Education Leadership, both from Gannon. Now, prior to entering higher education, he spent nearly a decade as a television journalist and news anchor. Tony, would you stand and be recognized? After a national search, Provost Brogan has appointed Dr. Heather Maloney Stassen as the founding dean of the Colleges of Arts, Sciences, and Education. She'll be charged with establishing the strategic priorities for the college and advancing the liberal arts mission of the university. She comes to Daemen from Cazenovia College, where she served numerous leadership roles, most recently as director of the communication program. Prior to joining Cazenovia, she taught at Syracuse University and Hamilton College. She earned a bachelor's in political science from Ohio Northern University, a master's in communication from Ithaca, and both a master's in communication and a doctorate in rhetoric and public culture from Ohio University. And she's active as a scholar analyzing public culture and rhetoric. Now, although she doesn't begin her appointment until June 1, I'm delighted to report that she's here with us today. So, Dean Maloney Stassen, would you stand and be recognized? And Lori Zimfer-Kakamis has been appointed Director of Facilities. Lori has more than 30 years of facilities and project management experience. She spent more than 13 years at Niagara University in various leadership roles within facilities management. Lori earned a BS in architecture from UB, an MBA from Niagara, and an MS in executive leadership and change from that wonderful university, Damon. Lori, would you stand and be recognized? Back there. I'd like also to recognize faculty who this year obtained board approval for tenure and promotion. There are 8 candidates. After I've named all 8, I'll ask them all to stand so we can applaud their accomplishment. The first is Laura Watts. She's an associate professor of visual and performing arts and was granted promotion to professor. The remaining 7 are assistant professors and were granted promotion to associate with tenure. And they are Dr. Sarah Latchford, Physician Assistant Studies, Dr. Mark Warren, Philosophy and Religious Studies, Dr. Meg Artman, English, Dr. Vicki Knapp, Applied Behavior Analysis, Dr. Sarah Worley, Natural Sciences, Dr. Martha Kershaw, Nursing, Dr. Michael Jones, Visual and Performing Arts. Now, would all 8 candidates please rise and be recognized? Now, these promotions take effect with the start of the 2022-23 academic year. The Daemen Board also approved emeritus status for a recently retired distinguished faculty member, and I'm pleased to introduce the newest member of the Faculty Emeriti, Dr. Robert Gunther. Dr. Gunther demonstrated outstanding service to Daemen and to the Department of Natural Sciences, especially during his 9 years as department chair. He was instrumental in founding our physician assistant program. Dr. Gunther, would you stand and be recognized if you're with us today? You'll be pleased to know that Daemen is continuing its substantial forward momentum. One of our greatest achievements in the last decade was being elevated in 2018 to the prestigious Carnegie Classification's highest tier, doctoral universities. That made Daemen one of only 3 of the 21 institutions in this region to earn the highest category of this prestigious national designation. I'm delighted to report that this January, Carnegie reaffirmed Daemen's classification as part of its periodic reassessment of all the colleges and universities in the nation. Now, this is a real tribute to our faculty and the growing sophistication of Daemen as a university of national distinction. There are 3 levels in the top tier, and Daemen is listed as Doctoral Professional University. We join other elite institutions from across the country that hold that same classification, including Hofstra, Pepperdine, and Belmont universities. Carnegie also, by the way, recognizes Daemen's special community engagement classification, which is really important for what we do. In the academic world, the Carnegie classification system is the gold standard for determining a college's rank and place in the world of higher education. So we're very proud of that. And in keeping with that distinction, And after years of lobbying and advocacy, we finally won the right to call this institution what has long been a university. And congratulations to each and every one of you. We all did it. So I think we should give ourselves a round of applause. This is a major milestone in the institution's history, and it's appropriate that this change comes during our year-long celebration of the institution's 75th anniversary. And you probably have noticed the many mentions of college across the institution being systematically changed to university. And appropriately, the campus-wide celebration of our status change will be right here in this room following the address. And the tables along the side of the room hold gifts that you are free to have, and I hope that you stay and enjoy cocktails and hors d'oeuvres and stimulating conversations from our colleagues. Now, early this semester, Business First reported that Damon had outpaced every one of the 21 institutions of higher education in Western New York in enrollment growth this year. With a 5.7% increase, Damon bested Niagara University by more than a full percentage point and doubled the gains of the next two institutions, Houghton and St. Bonaventure. The boost in Damon's student population comes amid a 5.5% overall drop in enrollment at the institutions in this region. 11 of 16 institutions in Western New York saw declines. Only 5 saw increases. Much of this success is due to the dogged efforts of Dr. Greg Nair. Dr. Nair, would you stand and be recognized? And you know, the entire admissions team has done a fabulous job. Would our admissions professionals please stand as well? Admissions? It's well deserved. Now, progress on a new college of dentistry continues. In November, we submitted an extensive application for accreditation to the Commission on Dental Accreditation. In January, the New York State Education Department's external reviewer visited campus and expressed glowing support for the proposed college. Construction has already begun on 2 of the associated buildings. And early this month, we held a press conference to announce that we were pursuing the creation of this college, contingent, of course, upon final approvals both from the accreditor and from New York State Education Department. The press covered that press conference quite widely, and the Buffalo News even published an editorial officially endorsing the project as a benefit to the entire community. And we were pleased with that. I want to thank the many individuals in academic affairs who worked so hard over 2 years or a bit more to bring us to where we are today. With the 10 individuals you see on the screen and everyone else involved in this project, please stand and be recognized. Directing this gargantuan effort was Provost Brogan, who had the vision of making this new college a reality. Provost Brogan, you're not going to get away without standing here. Would you stand and be recognized? He's so modest. We're also making progress on the Daemen Public Square, otherwise known as the Quad Project. Comprehensive architectural plans were approved by the town of Amherst, and we've begun work on the parking lot behind Honor's House, which you may remember was scheduled to be constructed 5 years ago, but was put on hold after Governor Cuomo announced his program to provide free tuition to students attending public schools. We'll also construct a second adjacent lot and a new access road connecting all of the properties in the new section of campus. This work will be completed this summer, and construction on the actual public square will begin next summer. The West Royal Park project is progressing. We've been working with the town of Amherst to develop the park into a turf field and athletics complex for Damon. As you can see, marked by an X, On the map, West Royal Park is conveniently located less than 2 miles from campus. We secured a $2.4 million state grant toward the project, which will be the university's 25% of the $8 million project. The town will fund the remaining 75%. And this facility will provide Daemen with a state-of-the-art turf field, a 1,000-seat stadium, and 6 tennis courts. And the plan is to break ground in the summer. And, this is a huge step in providing our student athletes with a top-notch Division II athletics facility. This complex will constitute Daemen's first true home field in history. And for many decades, an unrealized goal has been to install permanent air conditioning in our largest internal space, the Lumsden Gym. And I'm happy to say that we're finally able to achieve that goal. A new system will be installed over the next few months. The project is especially important because the gym is not only the site for athletics events, but for other large capacity events as well. For example, as you know, we routinely use the venue for academic festival, convocation, open house, accepted student day, and a number of others. I'm especially pleased to report that while other colleges have been reporting layoffs, we were able this year to provide salary increases to a substantial number of faculty and staff. As a result of recommendations from a task force led by Provost Brogan, we were able to provide salary increases to practically every faculty member. And thanks to the leadership of Dr. Rood and the entire cabinet, we were able to address salary compression problems throughout the ranks of the staff. So we continue our efforts to make Daemen a great place to work. And yet another example of the close relationship between Daemen and the town of Amherst, the town selected Daemen's campus as the site of Amherst's State of the Town address. This is the second consecutive year that the address will be streamed live from the RIC. Leading the event were Amherst Supervisor Brian Culpa and A.J. Baines, President of the Amherst Chamber of Commerce. Both are members of Daemen's Community Advisory Board. And USA Hockey has chosen Daemen to host the nation's top young players with this coming summer in camps that will be providing training from elite instructors. Hundreds of players ages 15 to 17 will be based on our main campus. Many of the players are seeking to advance to the professional ranks. And not only is this national visibility for Daemen, but we'll be able to receive quite a bit of revenue, substantial revenue from USA Hockey. And we could use every bit of it. Daemen and the National Federation for Just Communities recently premiered Digging into Diversity, which is a video for young people that discusses stereotypes and fosters acceptance and inclusion. Debuting for more than 400 area high school and middle school students at the 12th annual Champions for Change conference, the sitcom-style short film features our mascot, Willie the Wildcat, helping his friends learn how to be more thoughtful about assumptions and mindful about what makes each person unique. The video will eventually be used in schools throughout Western New York. And not only was this project successful in our efforts to engage local school districts, which of course is an important part of our enrollment and recruitment efforts, but Channel 2 News aired a special segment on the story, yielding some very, really great earned media for the university. And our athletics department has done much to bring distinction to the university. The women's basketball team earned their third straight East Coast Conference regular season title. They entered the tournament with an impressive 16-1 record in conference play. They won the right to host the conference championship tournament right here at Daemen and went on to become the East Coast Conference champions, their second championship in 3 years. Also, men's basketball star Andrew Cisco became the all-time leading scorer for all NCAA men's basketball programs in New York State, including Division I, which is an incredible accomplishment. Now, he's already the all-time leading scorer and rebounder in Damon and East Coast Conference history. He also ranks in the top 20 in scoring and the top 10 in rebounding in NCAA Division II history. It's quite something. Now, I would have said that I would like to recognize Athletics Director Tracy Murphy for her leadership, but Tracy had an emergency that she had to deal with today. So I would like to ask, because I know there are a number of them here, all the members of our athletics program to please rise and be recognized for all you do. Coach Mack thinks he can get out of this by hanging out in the back there. We continue to garner national and regional visibility. For the 6th consecutive year, Damon has earned a position in the prestigious Wall Street Journal Times Higher Education College Rankings. The 2022 list includes 600 institutions across the United States. The rankings focus mainly on the level of student success and learning. Each institution was ranked based on how well it engaged with students, its added value to students, the diversity of its learning environment, and the resources dedicated to students. And for an impressive 13th consecutive year, Daemen has been named a military-friendly school by Victory Media, which is a national veterans-run organization dedicated to measuring how each college's commitment to creating meaningful opportunity for the military community. The designation indicates institutional support for veterans to help them to transition to college and then on to successful careers. The latest military-friendly schools list will be published in the spring issue of GI Jobs magazine. And in newly published rankings in the U.S. News and World Report, they ranked Daemen's graduate programs in social work and nursing as among the best in the nation. Our MSW program joins several notable institutions named to the rankings, including the University of Michigan, Columbia, and Penn. That's a pretty good company. And since the program's launching in 2014, nearly 100% of our MSW graduates who were seeking jobs secured employment before finishing the degree or soon thereafter. And the department also offers, by the way, an MSW in a fully online format to accommodate working professionals. And our master's program in nursing includes the Master's in Nursing Executive Leadership, Nursing Education, and Adult Gerontology. The new rankings place us among such institutions there as the University of Virginia, George Washington, and Arizona State. That's not too shabby either. Would Doctors Diane Bessel and Cheryl Nozick please stand and be recognized? And would all the members of those two departments please stand and be recognized? Social work and... Several organizations devoted to helping, I don't know why I'm losing my voice, I apologize, but they're devoted to helping people choose a quality college, have recently given Daemen really high rankings nationally. I'm not going to go through all of them, but these are important resources for potential students, and we're pleased that Daemen was included among the top colleges in all of the various rankings and among many of our programs. This national visibility helps extend our recruitment efforts as well, so we're really pleased with that. And Dr. Greg Ford, chair of the Physical Therapy Department, has been elected to serve as a commissioner on the National Commission of Accreditation in Physical Therapy Education. As a commissioner, he will serve at the highest level of physical therapy education and will help set national accreditation standards. The commission ensures that PT students receive the highest quality education, leading to safe and efficient care for their future patients. Now, this is a major national appointment and further national visibility for Daemen. So, Dr. Ford, would you stand and be recognized? And just a few days ago, we were informed by the U.S. Department of State that Professor Margaret Phillips had been awarded a Fulbright Scholars Award. This prestigious award is yet another instance of national distinction for the university. Professor Phillips, would you stand and be recognized? I know you're here. There you are. And in a welcomed instance of regional visibility, business first, chose Yolanda Morris, our Director of Admissions Events, to be one of this year's recipients of the IDEA Award, which stands for, of course, Inclusion, Diversity, Equity, and Awareness. This honor recognizes defenders of diversity and champions of inclusion. Yolanda's work with our Trustee Scholarship Program, advocacy for first-generation college students, and reputation for fairness, equity, and transparency were key components of her nomination. This is the third year that Business First gave this award. Last year, our Chief Diversity Officer, Tiffany Hamilton, was also chosen as an IDEA award winner. So clearly, Damon is at the forefront of diversity and inclusion initiatives. So Yolanda, would you stand to be recognized? And maybe Tiffany, would you also stand? And on a lighter note, we've received substantial worldwide visibility thanks to a Daemen alum, Cameron Garrity, who now works for our Department of Marketing and Communication. He created a series of GIFs fashioned after Daemen's mascot, Willie the Wildcat. These Will emojis are gaining popularity worldwide. Over just a 3-day period in March, a birthday-themed Willie ranked second on the website Jiffy, more than 151 million views and appearing on the front page. And even before this sudden jump in popularity, Will emojis, which are used primarily, of course, in social media and text messages, has racked up hundreds of millions of views. Cameron, if you're here, would you stand? Now, while we're applauding achievements, I'd like to highlight some especially impressive accomplishments. First, over the last 3 years, the Educational Policy Committee has been extraordinarily productive, especially given that we are in the midst of a worldwide pandemic. In addition to the regular business of curricular and program development, the EPC and its various subcommittees have been hard at work with the design and implementation of a new general education curriculum. This work has been a broad collaboration involving multiple subcommittees, academic deans, the core director, academic support staff, and the registrar's office. And have no doubt that this has been a huge task, and the EPC came through. I'd like to ask the EPC co-chairs, Drs. Penny Messinger and Deborah Napolitano, to please rise and be recognized. And how about the members of the EPC over the last 3 years? Would you also stand and be recognized? Now, before we leave the subject of the new core curriculum, I want to recognize one final person. At any and every institution, directing an effort to reform Gen Ed is a thankless job. It seems impossible to get every single person to agree to one plan. But the architect of our plan was undaunted. He led the entire institution through a 5-year process that eventually led to the plan that the EPC so diligently worked on these last few years. And I'm, of course, speaking of Dr. Sean Kelly, who devoted a significant part of his life to this project. Sean, would you stand for some much overdue recognition? He's putting final touches on the plan right now. And I have to say that I'm particularly impressed with the work of the Faculty Senate over the last 3 years. In addition to the regular order of business, the Senate completely updated and revised the faculty handbook, a process that has literally taken some senates across the nation an entire decade to accomplish. In the process, the Senate resolved several long-standing policy issues, including arriving at a course overload and summer compensation rates that are more comparable with, but still above, those of our peer institutions, arriving at a plan that provided promotion and salary increases for all current faculty, tenured faculty, and a modest increases for assistant professors, and reducing the official course load from 4.4 to 4.3. The Senate also reestablished a faculty ombudsperson pilot program, and in a very short time span, completed all of the handbook revisions needed to implement both the reorganization of academic affairs and the change in designation from college to university. And by the way, in order to accommodate that restructuring, the Senate had to restructure all of the major committees elected and standing to align with the new organizational structure. And I should say I'm personally grateful for how collaborative the Senate has been with us during these 3 years. Senate leadership worked closely with us throughout the pandemic, often helping to make very difficult decisions, and we're always willing to work together to achieve results that benefit us all and therefore the university. And these are just some highlights, by the way. And the Senate did not do this in 10 or 12 years. They did it in 3. So I would like to ask the two leaders who steered the Senate to these turbulent waters in the last 3 years, Dr. Lisa Pershall and Dr. Greg Ford, to please stand and be recognized. And would the members of the Senate over the last 3 years also rise and be recognized? And while we're recognizing the Senate, I would like to congratulate the newly elected members of the Senate for the next academic year. What a great group of smart and respected faculty. I really look forward to working with them. Would the newly elected members of the Senate please rise and be recognized? For the first time since 2019, our commencement ceremonies will be held at Kleinhans Music Hall. As in years past, both ceremonies will feature the Grammy Award-winning Buffalo Philharmonic Chorus. Buffalo Mayor Byron Brown will serve as commencement speaker for the undergraduate ceremony, and New York State Assemblywoman Karen McMahon will serve as the speaker for the graduate ceremony. Now, returning to Kleinhans after a 2-year hiatus will allow us to have more families and friends to attend, and that's a really good thing, especially after what we had to do these last 2 years. And as you know, this year marks Daemen's 75th anniversary. You probably have already noticed the large banners on campus marking the anniversary. To commemorate this milestone, the university has launched a year-long celebration with special emphasis on this year's Founders Celebration and Gala. We'll publish a special 75th edition of Daemen Today to highlight the anniversary. A major event orchestrated in partnership with the faculty will be a keynote speaker in the fall. We'll speak about the importance of civic engagement, which is appropriate for us. Our annual Alumni Award ceremony will include a special Diamond Anniversary Award for one of our most distinguished alums. During Founders Week, we plan to hold a contest where the first 75 Daemen community members to sign up will have the opportunity to ring Founders Bell during the special ceremony. And we'll host a special 75th student formal dance at their request. And Student Affairs will sponsor a number of anniversary-related events, including a sidewalk art contest, a Taste of Daemen Day, a food truck rodeo, a school spirit face painting event, a vintage throwback apparel sale, and a number of other events. I don't know what half of those things are. Athletics will host throwback jersey games and a Hall of Fame induction ceremony and other events to honor our athletics history. In addition, we're looking into the possibility of an illumination of Buffalo's City Hall with the Daemen colors and arrangements with other Amherst businesses to offer discounts and Daemen-centric offerings such as Sweet Jenny's popular Wildcat ice cream. The culmination of the ceremonies will be our annual scholarship gala, which will mark the conclusion of Daemen's first ever comprehensive campaign, The Drive to 75. We'll announce our campaign total at that time, and that gala will be held down the road at Jazz Berlin. We'll end the year with a commemorative 75th themed holiday party right here in the social room. So clearly, there's much to look forward to during the milestone year vis-a-vis our anniversary. So as you can see, we're continuing to maintain a great deal of momentum, and we're well on our way to completing another really productive, successful year. But I want to make clear that all of the success that you've heard about is thanks entirely to you. You made this possible through your hard work and dedication to the university. And I think it's only appropriate, once again, that we applaud each other for what we've done. So, well-deserved applause. And I think we should also recognize the talented and dedicated members of the cabinet. They work tirelessly on behalf of this university. So please help me applaud their efforts in leading us to where we are today. Now, this ends the formal state of the university address. And now I'd like to turn to my favorite part of the agenda, which is the presentation of this year's outstanding faculty and staff awards. As you know, each year the university recognizes one faculty member, one staff member, and one administrator as the outstanding members of the community that year. Each of the three awardees receives a cash prize of $1,500. Let's begin with the Outstanding Staff Award. As with the two other award committees, the Staff Award Committee was composed of accomplished individuals who've received that award in the last 5 years. So please help me thank the committee for their hard work in helping to choose a winner. Our staff recipient has been described as someone who is always reliable, supportive, and friendly. The recipient exhibits positive energy, is kind and always happy, and clearly takes pride in his or her work. Our awardee never hesitates to help others, is a hard worker, and is always kind and thoughtful. The recipient has been an integral part of our hard-working facilities team. That recipient is of the 2022 Outstanding Staff Award is none other than Mr. Michael Rollo. Congratulations to Mike. Mike, if you're here, I'd like you to come up and get your plaque up on here and get a photo taken. All right. Well deserved. Next is the 2022 Outstanding Administrator Award. Please help me to thank the committee for their hard work in helping to choose a winner. According to the committee, the recipient always goes above and beyond in all duties and always has a smile and a positive attitude, a professional and dedicated employee. The recipient is kind, understanding, helpful, accurate, and knowledgeable. By all accounts, this recipient does not hesitate to take on difficult challenges and works hard to solve problems. The nominator writes that the recipient is a team player and a great mentor. The recipient of the 2022 Outstanding Administrator Award is the one and only Ms. Brittany Murayansky. Brittany. Our third and final award is the 2022 Outstanding Faculty Award. Please help me thank that committee for their hard work in helping to choose a winner. The awardee is a dedicated teacher and always puts students' needs first. As such, this professional goes above and beyond to be there for students, is always accessible, and builds genuine connections with students. The committee considered the awardee to be a workhorse for all that he or she has done for the university. For example, the recipient has served as chair of many committees, is an active member of numerous associations, and has been instrumental in the design of the Gen Ed curriculum. It's with great pleasure that I announce that the recipient of the 2022 Outstanding Faculty Award is Professor Penny Messinger. Please help me extend congratulations to all three of our winners. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for spending time with us today and for everything you do every day to make our great university such a wonderful place to be. So I hope please now to join for a reception celebrating not only our three award winners, but our long overdue designation as a university. Food and beverages are available as our gifts that you can pick up at the tables along the wall. But to begin our celebration, I'd like to share a very, very brief video right now. So here we go.
Your education is never something that you can replace.
I think we have a lot of amazing professors and that actually care about us.
And it really feels like home here.
Is that the skills that you learn at Daemen, both in and out of the classroom, will really ensure your long-term success.
We're proud to celebrate the official opening of Daemen Center for Interprofessional Learning and Simulation.
The staff and faculty here, they really do care for you here. It's really the people here that make Daemen special.
The students of Daemen are the reasons the trustees meet, deliberate, and act.
We are successful because of the nature of the students, expertise and talents of our faculty, and our commitment to the teaching, learning process.
I love the small class sizes.
You feel at home when you're at Daemen.
Daemen has submitted its formal applications for a potential College of Dentistry, which will be called the Shatkin College of Dentistry.
Daemen is just really family oriented.
I feel like the professors are all really good at being like good role models.
The New York State Education Department Board of Regents approved an amendment to make the institution officially a university, effective immediately.